Hello again, everyone. This is Atram, and we're about to do another Cube single elimination. I figure I'm going to keep doing Cube and EDH videos until the new set gets released on Moto, at which point I'm going to work on some standard games again, because I've been brewing standard with the new set release, and I really don't want to be doing standard on Moto until I get access to that kind of stuff. Um, hmm. So this is a pack. Storm deck. I could do Storm deck. Oh, it's a possibility. It is always a possibility. Exalted Angels, awesome. Treachery is a blowout. A very, very powerful card. Never to be underestimated. Probably actually a first pick, but something in me just wants to, try that silly Storm deck again. I feel like I can get there this time. I just do. And Time Spiral is the card that is one of the cards that you want if you are going to be trying to do a Storm deck. So, we're taking it. We'll see what we get here. Interesting. Few options. Balance. I mean, it's not a Storm deck card. It's more of a controlling deck card. Since we're going to be very low on creatures, it's also kind of a board wipe. There's Gilded Lotus, very powerful. Could help us in the later game, but I'm not certain if it's what we want per se. Worn Power Stone can really help out. So there's a few options there. This allows us to keep more options. I mean, if we don't end up with a Storm deck, this is good for a controlling standpoint. So that's something. Sundering Titan's really good in a reanimation deck. Well, I think it'd be one of these three. I'm kind of erring towards the Worn Power Stone, actually. So I'm going to grab that. May or may not be the right pick. I'll probably get told whether or not it was the right pick later on. We'll figure it out at that point. Interesting. Okay. So, few cards that stand out to me here. Preordain, Priest of Urabrask, Chandra. Priest of Urabrask is good just because he's a free spell, which is good for the Storm decks. And, I mean, he can change my mana from, like, blue or black to red if I need double red for some reason, which I don't know. Maybe. Preordain helps us set up the top of our library, which is very good. Chandra just helps us copy spells. I'm going to take the Preordain because it makes me not have to have gone into another color just yet. Although I know I'm going to, no matter what. If I'm doing Storm, we'll see. Okay. Let's see here. Options. Condescend. Nicol Bolas, just to get him out of the way. But I don't actually want Nicol Bolas, I don't think, because I'm not going to be casting Nicol Bolas in this deck. Paladin Crown can be good if I have lands that produce more than 1 mana apiece. You can, if I have like 7 lands that produce like 8 or 9 mana off of them, play Paladin Crown, then I don't know, I feel like, yeah, it could work. It's probably not, I don't know if it's the right pick. But I don't know what the right pick would be in here that's something else, so I'm going to grab it. Okay. This is interesting. Because I want both Brainstorm and Augur of Bolas. I won't get both. I'm pretty darn certain of that. I think Brainstorm helps us more because of the card manipulation. But Augur can dig deep for stuff that we need. Meaning they're both really good. I don't know which to take. I'm gonna take the Brainstorm, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the Brainstorm. It costs one less and it's instant speed. Huh. Well, Impulse seems pretty good. Can help with stretch stuff. If we need mana fixing later on, Bad River. I'm gonna go with Impulse, I think. Looter Core can help a lot too, but I think Impulse helps us more. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going with. Yeah, we're gonna go with Impulse. Okay. Few options here. Faithless Looting, good card draw for us. And especially if we get some way to get cards back from our yard or graveyard or reuse cards in our graveyard, could be very helpful. Huh. What else? Chrome Mox, Maze of It, both good cards for us. I'm gonna take the Looting. I think that's the card for us. Well, it's our first Storm card. It just doesn't do anything for us, really. Right? I don't know. We can take it. It's worth a shot. We don't have anything that we're really wanting to play off the top of our library, but whatever. We'll see. Could work. Really expensive, though. Well, there you go. We could have Talrand as a secondary win con. Because we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5, 6 plus instants of sorcery. So Talrand can be like our little secondary win con in this deck. Since the Lotus came back to us, I'm thinking of grabbing the Lotus. None of these cards help what we're trying to do, so Lotus. Since he came back, I grabbed the Priest of Urabrask. Seems fine to me. Well, I don't care about any of these. This is the only one in our color, well, in our secondary color right now, so we'll grab it. Lavamancer could work. It's good removal as a backup. Sure, whatever. And our last card is something we don't care about. I don't know, most likely. I'd assume that. But we'll see. Skullcrack. Yeah, I don't really care about that. I mean, whatever. That's something. Meh. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. Well, Demonic Tutor could be very good. Since we generally need like black for like a Tendrils or something, I could see it. Beyond that, I would probably grab the Scalding Tarn. Or maybe like the Mana War to keep my opponent's big thing on the down low. Or Dissipate. So cards we're going to be looking for to see if they come back to us will be these these three. Because I don't think we need either of those two. So these three would be likely the best. Crumbling Necropolis would also be something I'd probably be on the lookout for. But I'm going to take the Dem Tutor because that seems like the card for us. Huh. Well, let's briefly go through this. It's in our colors. I'm not certain if I like it. Yeah, no. 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 Yeah, we're not really reanimating things. It's removal. No, no, definitely no. Because we're not really casting many artifact spells. No, no. Maybe. could be possible, actually, because it could give us a basic protection against like a counter spell or something to help protect one of our critical spells. And no. So our choices here really are Fathom Seer, Mizium Mortars, or Glenelendra Archmage. I'm going to take the Archmage just because I feel like it's the card that gives us the best benefit towards what we're looking for. Well, there's Tinker. Means no one's in a Tinker deck right at this given second. Oblivion Stone's probably the pick. It's either that or Palladium Mirror. Or this to help. So the thing is, I don't know how much black I'm going to run. If the only black card I end up with is Demonic Tutor, then I probably don't even splash for Demonic Tutor at that point to keep my deck more focused. Oblivion Stone's just good for us because it gets rid of all of the nuisance stuff that our opponent's playing and can save a few of our own if we need it. Well, no, maybe. No, maybe. No, I don't know. And no. So the cards we're looking at here are maybe the Verdant Catacombs, if we get another land to help fix. Meloku, Terminate, probably not that. So there's 3 cards here that I'm looking at. Meloku helps us if we end up as more of a controlling deck, since I have no clue where we're going to end up. Right now I haven't seen like one of the few Storm cards I need to actually win the game, which are Brain Freeze and Tendrils, because I don't believe Grape Shot's in this. So Brain Freeze and Tendrils are our game winners. So I'm going to grab that. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Meloku was the right pick. Probably was. I don't know. I really don't know. Narcolepsy could be good. Spreading Seas can help because it just draws us an extra card and shuts down part of our opponent's mana, hopefully. So it will slow down our opponents and draws a card. Ancient Tomb could be very good because it produces that extra mana, though. And we're looking, especially with stuff like Palancron, if we could find a way to get, our multiple lands that produce more than 1 mana, again, Palancron goes up in what it can do. So, we'll grab the Ancient Tomb. This stuff. Well, on a basic just impulse, no, maybe, but probably not. This could work out really well for us because it'll just it basically gives us almost an extra card in our hand, and we draw a card whenever we play a card from the top of our deck. So, that could be very good for us. Probably not. This is the other card that I'd consider right now. I mean, Thundermaw Hellkite's also really awesome. And I suppose when we do need that backup, because right now we are looking like a crappy Storm deck. So, I don't know. We don't have a win con in our Storm style. Okay. This is helpful, especially since it gives us another little reason to splash the black, and it makes this go to being costing 6 instead of 7, 5, 4, 3, etc. Makes everything else in our deck cost less, basically. I feel like it's the right card. That works with the Storm plan. This is a good card too, but it doesn't feel like what we're wanting per se. I'm almost kind of tempted to take the Devil's Play if we end up with a way to make Palancron cheap enough that we can play him, bounce him, and gain mana out of it. But I really don't know, so I'm going to take the Seething Song. Crumbling Necropolis came back to us. That's the perfect mana fixing for us. Yeah, we're going to take that. I'm not even really going to discuss it too much at that point. Okay, so looking at this, there are a total of 2 cards that even make me kind of look at them, which are Volrath Stronghold and this. In the case of Volrath Stronghold, It requires us to have better creatures and to have creatures in our graveyard to really be good. Mizzing Mortars is just a good, simple removal effect. Okay, so for this small subset here, I see a few options. I see Smokestack or I see Char. Char is a good removal. Smokestack can apply some serious pressure, but it generally requires us to also be applying pressure at the same time, which I feel like is something we're not going to be able to do. So I'm not going to take it. I don't think we're in black enough for Silent Spectre to actually be useful. We could grab the Gruul Turf because it'll produce one and a colorless and helps with the Palinchron thing, so I think that's what I'm going to go for. I must have thought, well, Spreading Seas was a card I was discussing earlier. I'm going to take it. Steam Augury, card I wanted earlier, I'll take it. And a pick 30 Domri, whatever, I suppose. I won't play it, but I suppose. Hide that darn thing. We're not going to be using that. Huh. Okay. Few options here. Lotus Bloom. Helps a lot. Enclave Cryptologist. Also helps a lot. Thinking it's the Lotus Bloom. Because it can help speed us along. I'm still holding out hope for that one Storm card to come around. Some way to win with the Storm. But since it's looking like that might not be coming around, though, we also have to start making certain we're on the lookout for ways that we can win our colors, which things like Kaiga the Tidestar help a lot too. But for now, I'm going to grab this Lotus Bloom. We will see if we get seriously lucky on finding something that helps us out a lot. Well, Mystical Tutor finds Brainstorm Preordained, Faithless Looting, not Skull, we probably won't play Skullclack. Impulse Demonic Tutor, which is kind of funny. Seething Song Char, Steam Augury, all sorts of crud. I think it's the card to take here. The other card I'd also consider things like Volcanic Fallout. Sulfuric Vortex could also be good. But I think this is the card I'm going to take. Alright. There's our first Storm card that can win the game. I mean, it takes an extra turn to win the game. But it can win the game, and that's why we're going to grab it. I'd also like this Badlands a lot. Gifts Ungiven could be good. Izzet Charm could be good. Gamble could be good. But I have a feeling if we don't take this, it's not going to come back around to us. I mean, maybe it does for some reason. But I feel like we really do just need our first Storm card that will win us the game. So I'm going to take that. Well, okay. Cryptic Command seems pretty good for us since we're heavy in the blue. I also see Ralzeric here, who's really good, and Koth. These are the three cards I would like in this pack. Of these, I feel like there's going to be someone else just playing blue out there that this will just not come back to me. Whether or not there's another person playing blue-red is a different story. Although Nicol Bolas didn't wheel, which makes me think that someone else will grab this just because it can go with that. I doubt both of these Planeswalkers here will wheel, but we'll see what happens. Well, options are Volcanic Island, Tendrils of Corruption, Kortutsar, but we won't play that. Makes Mannequin, Red Elemental Blast would be So from this pack, I see this and this as really being the two cards that we're concerned about. Because we're not going to be playing enough swamps for that. I don't think we're going to really need Raging Ravine or anything else from this pack, so I'm going to take the Volcanic Island. Okay, from this, I see Relic, Trinket Mage, Desperate Ravings. Trinket Mage can help us find this, but then we still have to suspend that. Desperate Ravings is just a good general draw effect. Lava Claw Reaches is a manland we could play, but I feel like it doesn't. I mean, maybe I take that and hope that the Desperate Ravings wheels, because there's still a chance the Desperate Ravings could wheel. I don't know what decks, what other decks out there want that. So actually, yeah, I'll grab the Lava Claw Reaches, so it gives me an additional out here. An additional way to win. And there's our Tendrils! Yay! Tendrils! We've been drafting Storm without the actual ways to win in Storm, and now we got 2 of them! Dear God, we're in good shape again. Wow, that is a really late Kozilek going around there. But yeah, Tendrils. Straight up. Stuff. Hey, we can have 3 ways to win, or we could have Yogg's Will. Wow, both cards very good for us in Storm. I don't know if it's Yogg's Will or Brain Freeze. I've learned I have to be very, very careful when I play Yogg's Will. Yeah, very, very, very careful when I play this. It has to be like the last card you play in your hand. But it's probably the card I pick. Okay, well, since we don't need someone just to help us win the game quite as much anymore, our choices are really these 2. And of these 2, I think this wins out because it just helps us draw cards. That's probably the pick out of this, because we don't really want to be shutting down our own lands. So, yeah. Well, we actually have 3 straight up picks from this. We have the mountain, or the swamp mountain Badlands. We have Gamble, and we have Is It Charm. From these, I'm thinking it's probably this because it goes best with our Verdant Catacombs. Yep, Gamble might have been the pick otherwise, but I don't really like any of these. What does well, I don't know. We'll just grab that. And that's a technically playable card for us. And the Desperate Ravings came back! And a fetch land. That fetch land actually goes good with our Badlands that we grabbed. So there we go. We're in good shape. Alright. Time to build this thing that was otherwise a pile of crud until we got both Tendrils and Empty the Warrens and Yogg's Will in pack 3. Okay, so things to look into. This, and this. As I was, brief aside, as I was commenting earlier, gotta be careful when you play Yogg's Will. Sometimes you forget that you played Yogg's Will, and then you play Faithless Looting, and you cry. That happened to me once. Don't do that. Just don't. Play smart. Learn to play right. That's something I'm working on. We'll get there eventually. Don't know if I need that. Don't know if I need that. We'll see about that. That. That gives us a second out. That. We don't really need that. I don't know if we need the Palinchron or not. This gives us more mana. That's a card. No. Maybe, but a little bit better. Maybe, but a little bit better. Maybe, no, maybe, no. Sideboard only. Well, I want like 1 or 2 more cards. So, I have the choices, since that's sideboard only. think I'm going to want one of these, but only one of them. When I look at this, I think this probably is not the best for us, because since we have Yogg's Will, we're going to be wanting to actually reuse our cards that are in our graveyard if possible. Talrand could just go crazy. Now, interestingly enough, I'm trying to think, does he work with Storm? I don't remember. I really don't. I'd have to look that up. This gives us some additional protection, which could be useful, but it's probably more of a sideboard card, because I don't know if I'll need the protection against certain styles of decks. We're not playing a heck of a lot of permanents I care about. I mean, we have this. Don't care about that. It's done its job at that point. Don't care about that. It's already done its job. I mean, whatever. Yeah. So maybe this is the right call here, because it's a board wipe that really doesn't affect us that much. And it just gives us a way to potentially stabilize. With this deck, I'm thinking of trying to run 16 lands, since I'm running a Lotus Bloom. Just because there's less lands for us to accidentally draw into as we're doing something like Time Spiraling or stuff like that. We didn't end up with enough lands to make of the styles that produce multiple mana to make Palinchron really all that good. It's a free spell, grants us a little extra mana, but again, it's also a 7-drop. I don't think that's where I want to be with that kind of stuff. So it's probably not one of these two. I don't think we're caring for Mind's Desire. Since we have Yogg's Will, I'm a little hesitant on the Grim Lavamancer. Char could be helpful just because it's a removal spell. Mizzium Mortars is a cheaper removal spell, but again would require, well, I don't know. Volcanic Fallout's probably more of a sideboard card for us. I think I'm going to grab him just in case we have some sort of issues getting one of these two online. And he just triggers off of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, well, technically 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 cards in our deck. I think that makes him perfectly legitimate to play. So we'll have that. Definitely that. Probably this still, because it fetches a Badlands and a Swamp, since swamps are splash color. I'll play that just to have an extra threat as need be. This is good. That's probably fine for us. So then we're going to end up with 9 basics. It suggests 5, 3, 1. I'd like probably, I don't know, 5, 2, 2. Just because we have double black, but we also, well, I mean, our red's actually pretty light, and we're getting red from Volcanic Island, Badlands, Lava Cloud Reaches, and that. I'm going to go with 5-2-2 as our basics. I feel like it just helps us a little more, just to make certain that it's a little easier for us to get to what we're wanting to mana-wise off of that. So I think this is the deck I'm going to go with. A solid 4 creatures in Encore Cryptologist, Nightscape Familiar, Priester Urabrask, and Talrand. Of these, this is barely a creature. It's more a creature in the fact that it just dies to creature removal. This is a technical blocker that just makes everything cheap. This is just a free spell. We don't actually care that it's a creature. For all I care, it could be just a 0-1 instead of a 2-1. I don't even care. It could be an artifact for all I care, as long as it's free. And then Talrand actually can win us a game. So, yeah. We're going to try this. See what happens. Do we have enough black sources? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 6. Yeah, so we have one more black, yeah. Huh. Okay, yeah, I think we're fine. I'm going to submit this deck, and I will see you guys in round 1.